Como esta, gamers, and welcome to my channel. In my last video, I explained that I would be kicking off a Noob's Guide to Albion series, starting with the Destiny board. Firstly, you can open the Destiny board by either clicking B or N, depending on your preset hotkeys. You can also access the board by clicking on the UI shortcut underneath the settings. At first glance, the board can seem like a tangled web of confusion and pain, eventually leading to an Alt F4 suicide. But once you get past that daunting exterior, the board becomes your best friend. The Destiny board essentially tracks a player's progress throughout Albion as they perform tasks such as gathering, crafting, monster killing, and even player killing. Each activity that the player does gains fame, which helps them progress to the next tier or rung in the board. But wait, what's fame? Well, fame is essentially Albion's version of experience. For instance, when I mine this stone, as you can see, I gain 9 fame, and my Adept's Stone Gathering total fame goes from 9,274 to 9,283. But my Mace Fighter fame didn't move at all, meaning that fame is specific to the task that you are doing and will only affect those areas on the board. The Destiny board is split into 3 primary sections, with some tertiary sections between. On the upper left is the combat section. As you train with certain weapons and armor, you will gain fame with them, allowing you to wear higher tiered gear and unlock different spells. After you complete the tutorial island, you will be able to use Tier 2 gear as shown in the Trainee Fighters tab. This is base level gear that allows you to branch into either the Warrior, the Hunter, or Mage trees for weapon and armor upgrades. So hypothetically, if you wore plate armor and used a bow, you would gain fame towards the Journeyman Plate Armor Fighter, as well as the Journeyman Hunter Fighter. As you progress through the tiers of weapons and armor, you will gain more choices in gear and become more specialized in what you can wear and in your fame gains. Unlocking Tier 4 maces, for instance, allows you to equip 5 different weapons: the Mace, the Incubus Mace, the Heavy Mace, the Morning Star, and the Bedrock Mace. As you use these weapons individually, you will gain fame towards their Combat Specialist tab. This tab doesn't actually allow you to wield higher tiered weapons, but gives you increased stats and item power towards the individual weapon as well as the weapon tree as a whole. Meaning that if I were to solely use my Heavy Mace and gain increased specialization with it, all other maces will gain benefits as well. So if Combat Specialty doesn't allow me to wield higher tiered gear, how do I increase past Tier 4? Well, that's achieved back in the Mace Fighter tab, or whichever tab you're using for your gear. As you can see on my Destiny board, I can use Tier 4 maces and am currently 4 out of 100 on the Mace Fighter tab. When I get to 10 out of 100, I can use Tier 5 maces, 30 out of 100 is Tier 6, and so on. Additionally, dispersed between the tiers are spells that you can unlock on weapons and armor, allowing you to switch out your rotation on the fly and try out different spells later in the game. The next major section is on the right and upper right of the board, and is for crafting. Crafting follows much of the same pattern as combat in the Destiny tree. After you complete the tutorial island, you will be able to craft Tier 2 gear, which includes the Warrior, the Hunter, and the Mage types, but also includes tools and refining as well. So, as you craft Tier 2 swords or plate armor, you will unlock the ability to make Tier 3 Warrior gear. But once again, it becomes more specialized over time, meaning that after Tier 3, you will have to craft the individual weapon or armor piece to gain fame in that tab, whether it's for heavy maces, plate boots, plate armor, or whatever. But once again, the crafting specialty doesn't affect the tiers that you can craft. It simply makes you more efficient and better at crafting a specific item, such as heavy maces, or in the overall weapon type, such as maces in general. In order to craft higher tiered gear, you once again must look at the mace crafting tab, or whatever tab you're working in. Tools are the same way as crafting gear. But as I mentioned earlier, crafting also contains refining. Refining is the ability to turn raw resources such as stone, ore, wood, fiber, and hide into refined and usable resources such as blocks, bars, planks, cloth, and leather. The more that you refine a specific raw resource, the more efficient you become at refining that resource, and you can eventually unlock the ability to refine a higher tier. The last major section is to the bottom of the board and is for gathering. Gathering is divided into 5 types: fiber, stone, hide, wood, and ore, and each resource requires a different tool. A sickle for fiber, a stone hammer for stone, a skinner's knife for hide, an axe for wood, and a pickaxe for ore. As you gather more of a single type of resource, you become more efficient at gathering that resource, and you can use higher tiered gathering gear, eventually unlocking the ability to even wear specialized gathering armor, such as the miner's gear that I am currently wearing. So those are the 3 major sections of the Destiny board, but there are also a few tertiary sections. These are the Reaver tabs, the Adventurer tabs, and the Farming and Cooking tabs, which I will cover in another video based on player islands and how to start up a farm. So firstly, the Reaver tabs are unlocked by killing monsters and creatures in-game. As you unlock each tab, it will give you bonus damage and resistance to killing higher tiered mobs, and it will allow you to partake in higher tiered expeditions as well, which I will also cover in another video. Secondly, and the last section of the Destiny board, are the Adventure tabs. These essentially track all of your progress in Albion, and are a culmination of all of the fame that you earned. As you increase in each tier, you will be able to use higher tiered capes, bags, and mounts, and will also unlock new character avatars. The last thing on the Destiny board are your learning points, which can be seen on the upper right of the screen. Learning points allow you to progress or unlock to the next tab without having to gain the entirety of the fame. So hypothetically, if I wanted to jump from Expert Ore Miner to Master Ore Miner, I could use 134 of my learning points to do so. And as a premium player, you gain 20 learning points every 24 hours, or 1 every 72 minutes. However, as you can see, I cannot actually use my learning points to progress. The Learn button is grayed out and unclickable. Well, that's because you have to gain at least 30% fame in a tab or skill in order to use those learning points in that tab or skill. So as you can see, if I wanted to, I could use my learning points to jump from 4 out of 100 on the Mace Fighter tab to 5 out of 100. I wouldn't recommend using learning points on combat skills, but I will get into that on another video. So, that's it for Noob's Guide Episode 1 on unraveling the Destiny board. On the next episode, I will explain how to gather and craft. Thanks guys, and adios gamers.